Today is Saturday, August 5th. It's the final weekend of racing at Saratoga Racecourse for the 2009 series. But actually, today we're gonna talk about first the Pacific Coast Classic, which is on the West Coast. I think it's an interesting Saturday-Sunday matchup here, where we have the Woodward on Saturday at Saratoga, which brings together the best of the East Coast, and the Pacific Coast Classic, which is truly the centerpiece of the Del Mar meet. The Pacific Coast Classic, I'm here with Brian Neferoff. The Pacific Coast Classic actually may be the more significant of the two races when you look at the entire season, as it's run on Poly, which the Breeders' Cup Classic is going to be run on at Santa Anita, and it's also run at 1.25 miles. Brian, how do you see this race playing out in comparison to the Woodward as far as being significant as far as the year goes on?
Oh, it's incredibly significant. I guess you could just say that the class involved in the Pacific Classic, there's a couple real contenders, and then there's a big drop-off, I'd say, whereas the Woodward kind of looks like everybody's a real contender in there.
Well, Jess Jackson's made it apparent that Rachel Alexandra is not going to be going to the Breeders' Cup, either in the Fillies race or in the Classic. So that takes a big piece of luster off the Woodward as being a significant race going forward, unless one of the colts comes up and actually wins it. But anyway, let's talk about the Classic and how it may be run today, the Pacific Coast Classic, that is.
Well, I think Colonel John is going to probably be your post-time favorite, and deservedly so. I mean, this talented Tiznow colt has won the Traverse, he's won the Santa Anita Derby. He's actually quite lightly raced when you think about it, and this will be his second start off a layoff, and for now his 4-year-old campaign, and I think Colonel John is just a monster sitting on a huge one.
So with Colonel John being the favorite, what can we say about Einstein? This is obviously talented colt as well. He's run on a variety of surfaces and run very well on a variety of surfaces. Do you see him firing his best effort today on the poly track?
I don't. Personally, I do think that Einstein is a really nice horse. He's incredibly tenacious and game, and he's danced a lot of dances, but I just sort of feel like his best days are behind him, and I like a couple more horses in here much better than Einstein.
So how are you going to play this thing?
Well, I'm going to do a $2 exacta box, I think, with 4 horses here. And certainly I'm going to use the 6, Colonel John. And I'm going to use another son of Tiznow, actually, the 1, Informed. And along with that, I'm going to use a very hard-knocking veteran, Awesome Gem, the 12 horse. This horse has run many big races with much higher company, arguably, than this. And also, I'm going to take a shot with Bob Baffert's 3-year-old here, Misremembered. I just have a feeling that he wouldn't run this 3-year-old against older horses at this stage if he didn't think he had a big effort in him, and he's by Candy Ride. He'll get that 1.25 miles, and that's the exacta box try there.
Okay, and how's the race going to play? Who's gonna vie for the lead?
Well, you'll see probably Bobby Frankel's horse Mass Track, and you'll see Bo Greeley's gelding Trace Barachos probably up on the lead there, probably setting quick fractions. And Colonel John is so versatile; he can sit right off that, or he could sit maybe 5-6 lengths off that. Awesome Gem certainly will be closing late with a big kick. It's 1.25 miles, so I think the closers are going to be there at the end, and really, the speed balls will kind of die out.
All right, thanks, Brian.